What is up, people? Welcome to the first video of the channel. My name is Shayan, and here I plan to cover all the latest news in regards to our favorite team in the world, Real Madrid. We have tons of really interesting and thought-provoking news that we're going to talk about today. So without any further ado, let's get to the news that we want to talk about. And the first piece of news that we want to talk about is from the interview that Martin Odegard has had. And he has basically opened up about his decision to leave Madrid. Now, if you get to read the article, Odegaard has said that he basically decided to leave Madrid because of the kind of pressure that he was facing in Real Madrid, and he was looking for more minutes to play, which was why that he decided to make this move to Arsenal happen. Now, let me just say something, because if I want to be honest with you, when Odegaard decided to leave Madrid, my heart was a bit broken because I've always thought of him as the closest version that a player can become to another Luka Modric. And the style of play that Modric has, how he's able to become like a pivot midfielder. At the same time, he's a like box-to-box midfield. He's able to like make this incredible through passes happen. And if you get to watch Odegaard's play style, it's very, very similar to Luka Modric. And he decided to leave Madrid in 2021 season, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was the season that we're able to win that incredible Champions League. So when you consider everything, that season was the season that Modric and Kroos were basically at the pinnacle of their careers, right? I wouldn't say that about Modric now. I think his level has changed a bit. Kroos, he has been fantastic this season. Like he has been absolutely incredible. I did not expect Kroos to be this good this season, specifically like his combination with Tchouaméni and how he's able to like be closer to the opponent's goal and make like those shots happen. Yeah, Kroos has been incredible. So yeah, that was the reason that I was a bit heartbroken about Odegaard's move to Arsenal. But at the end of the day, when you think about it, it was a win-win deal for both Madrid and the player. Not only Martin Odegard got to play more for Arsenal, and now they're doing exceptionally in Premier League. We were also able to use the money that we got from Odegaard deal and basically make the transfer of Camavinga happen, right? So when you think about it, everything worked out pretty well for both the player and the club. So yeah, it was an interesting interview that Martin Odegard had about his decision to leave Madrid. Next up, let's talk about another player that this season has left everyone in awe. I think that's the best way that I can describe it. And that player is definitely Jude Bellingham, right? So Pep Guardiola has revealed that he spent 3 hours trying to convince Jude Bellingham to join Man City over Real Madrid. And again, when you get to read this one, Guardiola apparently did everything in his power to talk Bellingham into joining Man City, saying that City is in a better phase in comparison to Madrid in terms of development. But obviously, ultimately, we know what happened, right? Jude Bellingham. There's another thing that I want to talk about Jude Bellingham, and that is the fact that I see a lot of people compare him to CR7, right? That is a comparison that we are seeing a lot as Madrid fans. And even people like who are fans of other clubs are making this comparison. And I don't think it's the right comparison, not only in terms of like making those comparisons, but also for the player, right? Jude Bellingham is only 20 years old when you think about it, right? That's bonkers that this player is able to do these kind of stuff and he has this level of maturity when he is 20 years old, right? Like as someone who is approaching his 30s, I'm a bit jealous of the position that Bellingham has, and it is well deserved, right? He has been absolutely phenomenal this season. But at the same time, I don't think we as Madrid fans should make these kind of comparisons, and through these kind of like comparisons and contrasts, drawing these kind of contrasts and similarities, put too much pressure on arguably one of the best players that we have had this season. Because the thing, and I believe that wholeheartedly, I think the thing that really sets apart Ronaldo as a football player, as opposed to all the other players in the world, I would say 99.9% of players in the world, is the level of consistency and perseverance that Ronaldo has had for so long when you think about it, right? Ronaldo is now, I think, 36, right? He's 36-ish. And again, Ronaldo has had a fantastic career spanning for now 16 years. It's incredible, right? So we should not make comparisons right now. I know a lot of people are excited about the idea that, okay, if Bellingham can do all these things when he's only 20 years old, imagine the things that he can do in his, like, when he approaches his 30s, right? Again, I have nothing against that, but there are a lot of factors that can come into play, right? I just don't want us to put too much pressure on a player like Bellingham, right? Statistically speaking, his first 10 matches, I think he's been able to score 10 goals and 3 assists, right? So in terms of statistics, he has done better in comparison to Ronaldo. But is he a better player than Ronaldo? That's a stupid comparison, right? I would never make that comparison. But yeah, again, when Pep Guardiola, I think it just goes to show you, this article that Guardiola has expressed a lot of interest in the player, just goes to show you what kind of talent Bellingham is and how lucky we are that this guy is on our side. Definitely share your thoughts on the things that have gone down with Guardiola and Jude Bellingham. Next up, let's talk about another talent of the team, and that is Vinicius Jr. Now, when you see the headline of this article, Vinicius Jr. explains why he might not spend his entire career with Madrid after promised to his father. You might think that, has something wrong gone down with Vinicius and the club? Because there are talks that Vinicius is going to renew his contract, and a lot of people got scared when they saw that kind of article. And I just wanted to say that, yeah, this article in and of itself does not truly show you what is going down. When you get to read it, apparently Vinicius wants to one day go back to Flamengo, right? The club that he really made a name for himself in Brazil, at least, right? He has promised his father to do that. And also Madrid as a club, as much as I love Real Madrid, right, is not the best club for players to get retired. So, I mean, you have to be a rare exception that happens, considering how the president of the club approached the situation of Iker Casillas and Sergio Ramos and CR7, right? It's really hard for a player to get retired in Madrid. We'll have to wait and see what happens when Vinicius decides to do that. That is way, way down the road. Vinicius is only 23 years old now, right? But yeah, I just wanted to say that it's not the best club in the world for you to consider to get retired in, right? You have to be such a rare thing and a rare gem for that to happen. So yeah, keep that in mind. Also, another thing that I want to talk about Vinicius is this article from Marca, and he has talked about how he's helping Spain combat racism. It's an interesting article. Definitely give it a read when you have the time. But yeah, he has talked about how he has learned a lot about racism and how he has to react to racism. I think that was the thing. That was a sentence that really, really caught my attention. Because last season, let's be honest, Vinicius got carried away at times. That was something that I did not like. Racism is one of those things in the world that it's really hard to say that it's going to go away, right? We just there are some things that you have to accept in the world, right? I think that racism is one of them, right? I think the form of racism definitely differs from one country to another. But yeah, it's really, really hard for human beings to diminish that from society. So that is one thing that you have to keep in mind. What Vinicius can do as a Madrid player is to think more, think twice maybe before he gets carried away and wants to like react like in an impulsive way, right? Again, I think the player, I can't imagine what he went through last season. But again, it's not the first time that we have seen that in a European country. No offense to Spain. I'm just saying that, right? I'm just saying that in each and every country, the form of racism is different. And again, it's a really tricky matter to talk about, right?